I, Vegeta, the Prince of all Saiyans, hereby command that you do not listen or subscribe to the Dragon Ball 4 Life podcast. Whatever you do, would you defy royalty? No! Bye!
Anime, we have your attention, please, and welcome to another episode of F4L by DB4L. And as always, we are your hosts, the Fusion Dance Dons, aka the Mon Gods, aka the deadliest backcourt in the podcasting game. I go with the name of Bro G to the Prince of all Sayings, Mr. Matthew Porter, aka Matty Ice, here with my counterpart, the Oob to my Majibu, my Dende one, going from the lookout to the cookout. Mr. Troto Trav, talk to the people, Trav.
I mean, you know who it is. It's the kid, Troll Trav, and are we live?
We live.
Because like a saying, I say this with pride.
Ooh.
Lord Beerus knows I've never been a cheater, so that's why I'm forever with one woman like Vegeta. We are back.
We back.
We back.
We back.
And we are here for
our final first.
Our final first of Toyble, now Toyataro's adaptation of Dragon Ball AF. So if you are new to this Fans for Life series, we did give a breakdown of what exactly Dragon Ball AF was in terms of the history, when it first appeared, and then also leading into what we're covering now. And now Dragon Ball AF, we're going to cover another iteration by the artist Young Gigi, but this is the OG from Toyble, aka Toyataro himself. And so,
aka the greatest audition of all time.
Yeah, right. Listen, if you are a fan,
your red dot is back,
and we are back. That must be Toei trying to block our blessings because we're covering content that they're probably trying to show.
Nah, you know who it was? It was that whoever our fan is who has been covering these chapters after we do it. he trying to beat us to the last one. He's like, all right, if I do the last one first, they were copying me.
Exactly. But yeah, we back, and like I was saying, that if you're a fan artist, don't quit on your dreams because you never know what could happen. And so,
well, don't get on your dreams, no matter what your dreams are.
Well, actually, there is a balance of reality and pursuing your dreams. So,
that's facts.
we've known a lot of SoundCloud rappers that probably should have quit their dream while they were ahead of themselves. But
indeed,
we won't get into that. So here we are. This is labeled as Chapter 4.5, and it is essentially the closing chapter, you want to say, of Dragon Ball AF, which, to be honest, it just jumps, and we'll get to it. But the story is not finished.
The shift in tone is so blatant. It's hilarious, bro.
Yeah. Essentially, what happened was,
my man got paid.
Yeah. Around this time, Toyataro got hired for Super Dragon Ball Heroes to draw for that manga before officially becoming, the official writer, drawer, whatever you want to call it, for Dragon Ball Super's manga. And he was just like, shit, well, I started this, let me just give it some sort of quote-unquote ending. And so we start off the chapter of how Chapter 4 ended, which was essentially Broly beaten down by Pikkon, realizing he's not in anywhere near the same league as Pikkon, let alone Vegeta, or whenever Goku does return, Goku. And you can see that, he's starting to turn a little bit in terms of like becoming that's not anti-hero, but supporting
him wanting to be number one. They're selfish desires, but they line up with what they need him to do right now.
Exactly. It's the classic villain that would probably eventually turn into a supporting cast member of the Z Fighters.
Quite literally Frieza's arc in Tournament of Power. Yeah?
Exactly. Had this story continued, Broly definitely would have become a permanent member of the Z Fighters, and sure enough, in Super he now is. But this is the version that we all know from the Dragon Ball Z movies. So it just starts off with that flashback of where, not even a flashback, just continuing where they left off. And
isn't it something really weird? Like, I know that this version of Broly is based off the original version of Broly that we got, but I feel like Super stuck the landing so good with Broly. It's weird to have like this loquacious Broly that can like string together like coherent, like well-spoken sentences.
Right.
I'm used to like soft-spoken musclehead Broly. Right. Like I like how he is in Super. He's not like dumb.
Yeah.
But, you know, he just, you know,
he's like a gentle giant.
Yeah, if he speaks few and far in between, but when he does speak, it's important.
Right.
But he just doesn't speak that often. A lot of grunts.
Yeah.
So yeah, like hearing him have like a whole conversation with PyCon, even though again this is like based off the original movie version, it's weird.
Yeah, it's the classic like I'm gonna be the strong Saiyan that wants to be number one, which he never even said in the Z movies. He just had a hatred for Goku and Vegeta and the royal family. So fast forward, it's Master Roshi, who somehow still lives to this day, telling the story to Goku Jr. and Vegeta Jr.
Random AF.
Yeah. Hey, full circle.
Double entendre, don't ask him how.
And it basically says, and thanks to PyCon's persuading, Broly began opening himself a little bit, and as Goku Jr. and Vegeta Jr. want to hear more, as do all of us, Roshi's like, well, it's time, the sun's setting, it's time to go in, street lights are coming on, and that's it for me.
It's time for so long.
And we
hit
see
it with the Blue's Clues goodbye.
Grandma Pan, which, you know, to this day, we don't know who Goku Jr. and Vegeta Jr.
Exactly.
are descendants of. Like, we assume that Goku Jr. is the descendant of one of Pan's children, who we don't know who they are, if they exist, why they're dead, but that's his grandma. And then we have Vegeta Jr., don't really know his lineage, but he is a spitting image of Vegeta, so we know he comes from the Breeze family. We just don't know who. We need a 23andMe test for the both of them.
I mean, I'd have to check the Carfax on it, but I know with GT, like when they did like the end of GT where it did have like the reincarnation of Goku and Vegeta fighting in the kids tournament, I know a lot of people like speculated that like her and Trunks ended up together, but I don't know if I've ever paid attention enough to like what their age gap was. I know like as they would have been adults, it would have been less creepy. Like, but I don't know like how much older Trunks is than Pan in GT.
Yeah, I think that would be a little weird if he grew up with Pan when she was a little baby and then wifed her later on. So that'd be a little creepy, you know. I mean, even though at a certain age I would assume that, you know, they're both adults, but
right, like yeah, like if she's 30 and he's 38, I mean that's not as weird. but
you saw her when she was in her diapers.
Yeah, like the GT era age of Pan and Trunks era age where they would have spent the most time together. It's like, yeah, that's not the time to be forming a romantic connection.
Nah. And so they want to hear the rest of the story, but Roshi is starting to get tired. He says, "Go easy on me, I'm old." He's wondering how he made it this far, and you know, then Goku Jr. and Vegeta Jr. walk off, making fun of Master Roshi, calling him a goof, saying, you know, just being kids. And then we transition off into Roshi starting to feel a little bit more tired, and it looks like, you know, as we are going to suspect, he might be on his last legs. And like, I don't know how he's still here to this day, but for the sake of the story, Master Roshi is here to tell Goku Jr. and Vegeta Jr. however the story ended. We assume that, you know, the Z Fighters were able to defeat Zykor. We don't know what else happened after that, but it's just in terms of that storyline. I mean, they obviously, Earth is fine, so someone saved Earth at some point. And so
or wished it back.
And then we have a little comedic scene here where we see a pod arrive on Earth.
And that shit was hilarious.
And
Majin Poo.
Yeah, Majin Poo and Bebedi, the son of Babidi. And so they're all like, oh shit, we're about to have some trouble now. We got the descendants of Babidi and Boo.
Yeah, the anime trope of like the rebellious child character all having mohawks is it's always that, like, oh, we need to make sure that they know this character got edge. Let's give him a mohawk.
And Bebedi's the son, but still look old. So like, so we have this little gag scene where Majin Poo and Bebedi arrive, and Goku Jr. and Vegeta Jr. no hesitation just start beating the bricks off of the both of them, but not even like in a violent way. It's kind of like in a playful, goofy way of like, yo, just slapping them around. You know, don't try to come up around here. And Bebedi and Majin Poo are they're no match for Goku Jr. and Vegeta Jr., which is sort of a send-off for Master Roshi of, okay, we're in good hands. They defeated this potential threat with ease and didn't even go Super Saiyan, because we know they can go Super Saiyan given the end of GT. And so this is where we start to see our beloved Master Roshi drift off. And
this send off was fire.
Yeah, the one thing that we got to give,
this was really good.
GT and then also this, they hit the home run with their endings. I thought GT's ending was a good ending. With
Goku going with the dragon.
Yeah, I thought it was an overall good send off for the series. This was a well played ending as well, where we have Master Roshi, he passes and then he wakes up essentially to his heaven. You know, he's back at Kami House. He's like, wonder how he sees Krillin, sees Grandpa Gohan, Yamcha.
Yeah. Now let me ask you this question with your take on this. So, because I'm of two headspaces, that A, this is like Master Roshi's heaven, like you just said, or B, this is like an other world that was like meant for the Z fighters to be able to like reconnect. Like this might be just like where they felt that, you know, their spirits would have just returned back to, because Goku was a kid in GT,
right?
You know, Krillin isn't Kid Krillin. He's like Dragon Ball Z Krillin, same with Yamcha and everything. So it's like my first reading was that it was just like Master Roshi's specific heaven where he would just be happy and at peace at. Which you see a lot of shows like Supernatural, like they had that was kind of their thing, like individual heavens. But then I kind of thought it'd be cool, like if this was just like a central meeting location for like all the departed Z warriors. And it's just like they kind of take on the physical form of like wherever they were like the most popular, I guess. Like I think that'd be cool.
Yeah, no, that's definitely a great thought, and I think, you know, could be possible, and, you know, very well, like you said, could be the meeting point, and then eventually they go to King Yama and are just then sent to Otherworld. But I do love the callback, the nostalgia here. You know,
so good.
It's, you know,
so
you see, like you said, Kid Goku. Like it's taking it all back to where it all started, and I think that, you know, this is another reason why Toyataro ended up getting hired. And so he just has a good understanding of the series, and also has his moments where he can really craft a good story. You know, he's still not the best. He still has his moments, but he can still craft some really cool moments, and this was one of them. And, you know, it's kind of like, you know, it has a little funny moment where, you know, Roshi gets right into training Kid Goku as if like
we back like we never left, baby.
Yeah, exactly. And so this is essentially where this story ends. And, you know, we see, you know, Grandpa Roshi, I'm gonna call him, peacefully pass away, and that is the end of the story. And also too, I also love this ending,
the final panels with the different
final panels,
with the Dragon Balls, like each Dragon Ball in a different scene.
Yeah,
I fucked with this a lot.
Where is this?
Roshi and Goku.
Yeah, this is Roshi and Goku talking, just kind of going over just the overall adventure of what was GT, AF, and basically it's them passing the torch to the new generation. You know, we see Kami House now, you know, just wrecked.
There's a whole like freeway over top of it now.
Exactly. You know, we way into the future. You know, you see the Dragon Balls there, and it's now we have Roshi about to head to Otherworld, and, you know, we see obviously Capsule Corp still thriving, and then, you know, the joke of Roshi asking if they're hot chicks in Otherworld, and Goku's like, sure are. Then what would have been really funny is if
that line felt weird, hearing Goku like, yes, bitches.
What would have been a nice touch though was like if he did say that, then another panel of Chi-Chi hitting
hell
Goku,
yeah, like what are you talking? Women where? Hey, that would have been dope.
And then so Roshi said, yo, Take me where the John's at. Take me there.
Facts.
He said, listen,
He said, to me.
Right.
To me.
And then we have this great send-off at the end of Goku and Roshi waving goodbye.
This was fire. This is a great
ending. It really is over, a.k.a. I got the direct deposit.
He said, I gotta go. Facts. That's exactly what he said.
The direct deposit hit. So, yeah, that is the official end of the Dragon Ball AF manga that is Toyble's version.
Our guy, before he put that name to rest.
And so there are, though, draft pages, which I will pull up. And so these draft pages are just literal drafts, but there was an artist, and I don't want to mistake his name. So, Matt, if you just want to talk about this real quick, I just want to pull
I got you, bro.
So there was a fan artist that essentially that's done work for other fan work that took the draft pages and essentially finished them just based on basically kind of like took the outlines, traced over them, added their touch to it, and then added their own dialogue. So once I pull up his or her name, I'm going to shout them out. And then, if y'all want to go find it, you can find it online. But, this is essentially, we're covering Toyble, aka Toyotaro's Dragon Ball AF.
One would assume that, before he got, the green light to go work for Dragon Ball superheroes, not the super superheroes that we know, like the legends, the non-canon stuff. One would assume that this was what he was working on and then hit an extreme pivot and then changed to that Roshi telling the story ending, because he had got much busier in life, like you said, that direct deposit hit. But essentially, it is
real quick before I let you go. The fan artist name is Rogeru, if I'm pronouncing it right, Rogeru. So
shout outs to them.
Took it and basically, just kind of completed it. But even then, the ending is still not complete. It essentially, just real quick, the draft pages and then the ending of that is they're able to summon Goku. They're able to get all the Dragon Balls, put all their energy into 7 Dragon Balls, which thus brings Goku back to Earth. They're all excited, and they ask him, do you think you can win? He goes, yeah, I suppose I can. Kind of like not real. He's kind of like really nonchalant about it. And this is after Zykor had transformed into what we assume his Super Saiyan. We don't. Yeah. There's no.
Well, he said it was Super Saiyan 5. Well, according to
he called it Super Saiyan 5.
Yeah,
that's right.
The fan translation, or the fan what the fan, because I do like how it does start off with what one would assume are completed translated panels from Toyble, but as you keep going, it starts to just start to turn into sketches and drawings, and then eventually it's just outlines with crudely pasted
right, because when you start it off, you're like, oh wait, these aren't drafts, but then you see you see
it's a little shaky.
This copy isn't in the speech bubble going down.
The quality starts to dip a little bit. I will say one thing that I did love about this, which I hope they kind of do something like this in Dragon Ball Super, but not to this extent. I love this new technique that Vegeta used to just instantaneously transform between all his different forms. So he used
the strengths of all them.
4, 3, Ascended, Ultra, Super Saiyan. Or that's what they were calling Broly's, which now we know is called Berserk mode or whatever. But yeah, just seeing him just do that, because Zykor couldn't figure out why Vegeta was tagging him up, and he was just in base Super Saiyan form. But Trunks figured it out basically during the hyperbolic time chamber training. Vegeta had figured out how to basically just seamlessly transform between forms, which we do see in Super, that Goku and Vegeta do switching out. But the cool thing I thought that Vegeta was doing here, he was just constantly changing out of the forms so rapidly that it just appeared to be just base form Super Saiyan. But he would choose the particular buffed power stat for each form to so he would use the speed of the one form to evade. He would use the strength of 4, the punch. He would use the ultra Super Saiyans, what they were calling Broly's ascended form, for strength. It was they even get a little breakdown chart. That was cool as shit. I thought this was really dope. So if we could get this in canon, I think that would be fire. I also feel that'd be something really dope for to keep it a Vegeta thing. Have that just be Vegeta's skill, that he can rotate in and out of the transitions seamlessly. I thought the show was really fire.
I was gonna say either Vegeta or one of the kids. I think that would be cool, because I do.
Goku don't need that.
Yeah, because I do like how now it seems that we're finally giving each Z Fighter their own unique powers and transformations,
like God mode with Future Trunks, Beast mode with Gohan.
Because as much as we would like, love to see Gohan and Super Saiyan Blue, it'd be a little bit redundant and everybody kind of just had their own.
Everybody have the same shit.
Yeah, so I do like everyone going on the same path. I mean, their own path. So yeah,
I still feel like it's easy hanging fruit, low hanging fruit, just to have Goten and Trunks like actually master fusion, like have them like whatever it is that the unlocked ultimate potential of what the fusion would be.
Master Fusion or Master Super Saiyan 3, because Super Saiyan 3, I think people like it, but it was just so wasted. I think I think that
because of the constraints with the spiritual energy that's basically just leaking out of you at that point in time. But or even if like they master Super Saiyan 3 like in the confines of the fusion, like they just like perfect it, or maybe they can figure out fusion to a point where it doesn't have a 30-minute buff, like they can just pretty much on and off it like whenever they want. I think that'd be fire,
and have the ability to defuse when they
exactly
when they need to.
Because I think that'd be like a kind of cool to see in a battle. Like if they're like charging as one and they'll split up to tag team and then go back as one, like just kind of go in and out like that. I think that'd be dope as fuck. If that happens, y'all heard it here first.
right. You hear that, Toyataro? We shout you out here, and we also want you to pull some ideas from us, and then let's get residual.
Exactly, bro. Let's get them residual checks in the mail. That's all.
Yeah. So but I
did fuck with that.
There's the drafts. Zycor transforms into Super Saiyan 5. Oob shows up and this was also a funny moment of Tien and Yamcha fusion, and then just getting one-shotted. just to providing a distraction. And Tien pissed off at Yamcha after they defused. Like, I told you this shit wouldn't work, and so that was a good moment. And so I mean they gather up on Kami's lookout. And it's just, as y'all saw, these are just extremely rough drafts, obviously.
You know what I really liked about this part? Obviously, you can clearly tell that like Super Saiyan God stole this. So like you could like the whole, even the lining up in a circle. I really liked, and it might not even have been intentional. This could have just been one of them things like, the fans are just creating things in their head that aren't there. I found it very realistic that if you just got 7 Saiyans in the room, just like, put some energy into this thing, they would all just dick swing and like charge up too much. Like, I could put more power into my ball than yours.
Right.
And I like that's essentially what happened. They all got a ball, they power up and say, why isn't this working? And the Elder Cows is like, hey, it's like fusion.
Yeah.
Like, you need to match your power levels. Like, relax. Like, I thought that was a real fun touch, how they just all grabbed it and immediately just started yoking up.
Yep.
And it was just like, no. Like, there's finesse to this. Like, relax.
And the one thing and we probably mentioned it on one of the first episodes, but Goku's outfit is the same exact outfit of
Super Saiyan 5. Right?
Of that original, well, it wasn't even that original.
Well, that wasn't
character that sparked the Dragon Ball AF.
Yep,
wasn't Goku. Wasn't, it was just a fan drawn character, which then people took and then used that as the Super Saiyan 5 transformation. Exactly. But Toyataro essentially took that fan character's like outfit, and that's basically what Goku's wearing, and so we can just assume that when he did transform
it was going to look like that.
Super Saiyan 5, that's what it was going to look like.
I love how a fan drawing of an unspecified Saiyan in a form we've never seen. We're all just so used to Goku being so OP that there's, that has to be Goku. Who else would they give that form to?
Exactly. So, the draft had ended with them summoning Goku. And he was like, I think this is good. This should be like, give me about 10 minutes.
Much to the chagrin of Vegeta, he's like, man, I'm sick and tired of following this motherfucker, man.
He's like,
I did think what was fire, it might not, like, if I had to like really sit and think about it, it might create a bit of a plot hole. But I liked how when they did reactivate the Dragon Balls and they like were summoning the dragons, and like we were in like Dragon World, and Omega Shenron was like, we're being summoned, and then like when him and Goku fused, it like turned into Shenron. I thought that was fire. I don't know why Omega Shenron and Goku would have made Shenron when Goku fused with Shenron. That's why I said it might be a bit plot holy, but I like that them like, merging into one is what created the Earth Shenron that we're familiar with. I thought that was a pretty cool.
Maybe
cool
because
thing.
the Black Star Dragon Balls were formed.
Oh yeah, that's a good point. From the original Earth Dragon Balls. That's a good point.
Yeah, when all that happened, so like when they were restored, it seems like they essentially then all just merged back into.
Yeah, and it is the version of Omega Shenron, like it's the Omega Shenron version where he has all the balls in his chest, so it wasn't just him before he absorbed everything. So yeah, I guess that makes sense. I'm rolling. I fucked with it.
I mean, I've always liked the idea and concept of the Black Star Dragon arc. It's just, I mean, it just goes with the overall theme of GT for me, which was great ideas, poor execution.
Yeah, that's yeah. I say all the time, like just that concept of like each Dragon Ball having a manifestation and being its own enemy. I thought that was dope as fuck. Like you said, the execution was trash.
Yeah. So instead of asking you to rate it out of 7 Dragon Balls, just give your overall thoughts and feedback, recapping your experience reading Dragon Ball AF, things that you liked. Obviously, it's easy to pick out things that, we didn't like, but this is a fan fiction manga, and for fans for life, for me personally, especially when it's free, I'm not here to
facts
crazy nitpick. I mean, there's obviously going to be moments where we're kind of like, this don't make any sense at all, and we'll call it out. But
I feel like a lot of those critiques are like within the confines of like critiquing the characters. Like, of course they would do this to Vegeta. Of course Goku would be the same.
Right. Like if we're going to analyze on like if this stuff like makes sense timeline wise and just lore wise, like to an extent, yes. But then like to get angry or upset,
we're never going to shit on the creative of this.
Yeah, because it's kind of like, all right, I just don't do this shit for free, and y'all get nothing. So
and not only that, like. I call it a chess move. It probably wasn't done intentionally, but like releasing chapter 5 or like the bonus one, the rough draft one, like just seeing like literally watching like what the final product of a manga page looks like, and then like as you go through it, you'd see like the breakdown of like like the rough sketches, the drawing, the storyboarding, like just seeing like how much goes into us getting these I know like we complain all the time just as fans, like fuck this month in between chapters is always stressful, but that's more so like when y'all are just like, this shit could have been 2 chapters, we could have moved on to something else, like type time. But when you see like how much has to go into like making these things look as good as they look for like public consumption, and like you said, like a lot of this shit, whether you pay that $2.99 for the Viz account or use like sites like this, a lot of this stuff is consumable for free.
And we gotta also shout out to the fan creators of the world, because I mean, like, essentially y'all kept this shit alive in terms of outside of just gaming and merch. Like, the fans that created this fan work kept Dragon Ball alive for that hiatus until Battle of Gods return. So and that's probably another reason why that it came back, because there was still a clear and healthy appetite for Dragon Ball. So I think we gotta give respect where it's due and shine the right light on these artists, because who knows, by shining light on Dragon Ball AF, who knows if we either get it finished or we just see more things that are pulled for it. I don't know what else he could pull from Dragon Ball AF that he hasn't already utilized in Super. But hey, if there was some world where he'd be able to have the opportunity to finish AF, like I said in my story, you got my money.
He's kind of the boss now. If there was ever a time.
I mean, he did say in a recent interview with is it Victor or Cheetah that he does those like weekly Dragon Ball polls with, where he basically had said that more is to come. So it's.
I mean, I'm excited.
I feel like at this point, I don't know when it's gonna come back. I was listening to
well, we know we got Diamond coming in October, Diamond and Sparkling Water coming in October.
And when I was listening to
to
Geekdom, he said that a source close to him, it wasn't, this is no confirmation or nothing, just what his source had heard, and him just relaying that information. But the source thinks that Dragon Ball Super, the manga, would be returning in January. And it's nothing that's confirmed, just what he has heard based on like his connections and all that. And I think too, Geekdom had also said that when Dragon Ball Super the manga returned after the Black Frieza arc had ended, I think it was in January of whatever that year was, it this year or 2023? But
superhero manga
when that started. So I mean, it sounds like we knew that with the ongoing behind the scenes stuff with why am I blanking out on his name? Akiyoku and with Capsule Corp Tokyo and Shueisha and all that, we knew that there was going to be probably some time, but obviously, like you're saying, with Daima coming out, Sparkling Water,
it's no way for me, like business wise, that you got Daima, you're about to bring back the anime, a new untold chapter in the life of the Z Fighters, and this game, which we know, and I don't think this is us like spilling any insider beans, because I feel like they've talked about it a bit. Like, we know that there is gonna be like some what if scenarios inside Sparkling Water, so that'll be like all new content. So like, you're about to give us like literally new content in the anime space, in the video game medium. The people are going to be clamoring. They're going to be itching. They're going to be begging for content. And like I said, with superhero and how it ended, there definitely is, I mean, from my perspective, that was always the intent that was going to continue. I know, like, we lost our guy, we lost the man that built the Kame house that we all operate out of. But just the way that manga ended, and just with all the new content that we're getting, like, there's no way that it's not coming back soon, like sooner rather than later. Like, because like I was just saying, like, the fandom is going to be itching for shit. Because like I said, we're getting so much at the end of the year. Like, it's gonna be that's just the logical with the heightened sense of like, oh, Dragon Ball Z fever or Dragon Ball fever is gonna start kicking off again at the end of the year. Like, I don't see how you don't capitalize with that and bring the manga back, especially with, like, you got shit like fucking Fire Force. We're finally getting the end of Fire Force. We're finally getting the end of Hunter x Hunter. So it's just like these other IPs that have really passionate fan bases that, like, a lot of their attention is gonna like start gearing towards that. It's like, Dragon Ball better, don't miss the wave.
Truthfully, I hope that, like, in all this time that that they've been away,
they've been cooking. Yeah,
like, he's actually been. Yeah, I'm hoping that, like, he's actually just been working on the manga, so that when it does come back, it's not like he's doing it month by month, or one would hope, or just like just keep building up the manga content so that we can get closer to the anime, because that they ideally would like to be so far ahead in the manga by the time they start. Right. Yeah, by the time they animate it, that there's no chance of it catching up to the manga. So
big facts.
That's
big facts. Which Daima is a credibly intelligent chess move, because it's like you're still feeding the streets with the anime, but it's all untold shit that can like kill mad time for you to like keep building manga chapters. But you got to do that. Like, you gotta start putting out the manga chapters while you have like this buffer window of people being so wrapped up in Daima, and then and in Sparkling Water when it comes out. Most animes for the first season like 24 26 episodes, but I have been seeing like a lot of the new ones, like Kaiju number 8 or Go Loser Ranger, which is fucking fire, by the way. But you've been
that's what I need to check out.
Nuts. But you've been seeing a lot of animes. You've been seeing a lot of animes recently now, like though, like one season's like 12 episodes now. Like, they're going more for like quality over quantity. But I feel like Dragon Ball is always, that's kind of like a staple of Dragon Ball. Like, their arcs are always kind of long. Right. That's kind of like been their thing. So yeah. This isn't us telling y'all what to do or anything, but if y'all want to build up the manga chapter so when y'all get to the anime, y'all don't catch up, use that Daima time and just start flooding the manga streets, bro.
That's what I'm saying. Saying.
Flood the streets. But to answer your question you had asked me, Trav, just in regards to not giving this particularly a rating because you can't, it's like incompleted work, just in its totality, reading this back, knowing how everything turned out after the fact, it definitely made me enjoy this way more than what I did. Because like when it first came out, I'm not embarrassed to say that I wouldn't say that I was a canon snob, but I definitely wasn't like rushing to fan fiction. Mm-hmm. Like it was like it would have to be like some fire shit, which this was. It was like kind of like brought me onto it, but I was just kind of like skim through it when I had a chance. But like actually having to like sit down and break these down and see like the heavy influence that this shit had on Dragon Ball Super, I like that a lot. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it quite a bit.
No, I agree. Like I think that was my biggest enjoyment rereading this, was picking out the little Easter eggs of things that were pulled from here that were used in Dragon Ball Super, and then also having more of an appreciation of Toyotaro's attention to Toriyama's work. Yes. I think at the time when I first read it, I didn't have that same appreciation, because I think I was just more so reading it from a GT lens and hoping that I could, see this Super Saiyan 5 or, see more of Super Saiyan 4. But there were definitely a lot of elements to this that actually felt more closer to like Toriyama's work versus what GT was. And so I think that was what really made me like have fun rereading this and breaking it down. I think that if there's a way to, well, actually, like that, I do feel like most of the ideas that were used in this were pulled from Super, because there's not anything
1000%.
Yeah, there's not really anything from here that I can say, like, even if you want to say Super Saiyan 5, well, kind of in a way that, like, we have Gohan Beast silver hair and perfected Ultra Instinct silver hair, so that sort of,
and because of the time, and because of the timeline, like with Pan and Bra or Bulla, whatever you want to call her today, like with them being GT age, there are some things that you couldn't use. So I'm curious, like when the anime or the manga finally catches up to the end of GT or the last episode of Dragon Ball Z, like if they go forward with that, or past that point, I'm curious to see if like the shit that he was using like with the older people, like there are still a couple things that he couldn't use, because like Dragon Ball canon isn't age wise where AF was at.
Yeah, right.
So Pan and Bra aren't old enough to like go Super Saiyan and shit yet, or Goten and Trunks are like just now turning into teens from the superhero movie. So I wonder, like, if we move forward in the manga and they start aging up more people, I wonder if there's like more shit that he might call back to from AF that he can use.
GT had Brawl older than Pan, and it's reversed in the actual story. So
it is.
Yeah.
Never thought about it. Yeah, oh, shit. That's crazy.
It is, right? Like, wait, hold on.
I'm pretty sure. Hold on.
Wait, no, Brawl. Wait, when was Brawl born? Brawl was born after.
So Brawl. That's yeah. I have to go. I'd have to go back and look at that.
Yes, no. She was born after, I think, because she was born after, because Videl reveals that she's pregnant during Battle of Gods, and Vegeta originally wasn't going to go to the Tournament of Power because.
But we sped up the pregnancy. But was Pan already born at that point in time, or was Pan still cooking? Because Brawl might technically be older. Because remember, we like sped up Bulma's pregnancy, so that Vegeta could go fight.
I think Brawl was born at that. Pan was born at that point.
Yeah, because that wouldn't have made sense for Whis to speed up Bulma's pregnancy for Vegeta to go if Pan was still pregnant. I'm sorry, if Videl was still pregnant with Pan, then he would have just did it for her too. Yeah, so dang, I didn't even realize. That's definitely Brawl definitely was older than Pan
anything,
and GT.
They're like closer in age, almost the same age, if not like Like Pan's probably slightly bit older than Brawl at this point, but in GT, Brawl was a full ass teenager. And
facts. And Pan was like middle, like 13, 12, 13.
Yeah.
And we've never seen a pure female fusion. We've seen the Patara earring fusion, but we've never seen the fusion dance between female Saiyans. And if they're like closer in age than what they actually were, I wonder if that was like done intentionally, like crazy future forecasting. But,
right.
But I feel like that'd be dope. I feel like that'd be dope as shit. Like, we see that there's a market for it, for fused female fighters, like, with Kelfla, and everybody loved her. She was fire as shit. Yep. So, maybe that was a little temp check. Like, all right, Bra and Pan,
hey, there's a market. Oh man. But before we send y'all off, like we said, this is the last installment of this Fans for Life segment, which
Correct.
was Toyable's Dragon Ball AF. Now Toyataro. It is Toyable's
The Prince.
So we're gonna go a different route for the next Fans for Life. It's gonna be another manga, another fan fiction. But this one is one that we hope will get animated to this day. Y'all might have seen the Instagram reel that was going around with the Kickstarter for supporting this project. This project is by the artist Quentin Dorsey, Black artist. You know, we're here to support.
Shout out
for everything Black. And we are
Big
going
facts.
to cover next Knights of the Abyss. I've been able to cop the physical copy of the first 3 volumes, and then we are going to break down those chapters. And so Matt and I are super excited about this.
Indeed.
If y'all haven't seen the reel pop up, go check it out on Instagram. Quentin Dorsey's Instagram is K_O_Abyss, ABYSS. So we will be covering Knights of Abyss next. I am super excited for that. And we here, Fans for Life. And so,
I'm
Mr. Porter, if there's anything else you want to add to that, and if not, then take us home.
Yeah, I mean, we've been telling y'all that Dragon Ball isn't just all we know. You know, jack of nerds of all trades around these ways. But we are super excited to be able to shed light. I mean, y'all know the mission statement. We're here to provide a voice for the voiceless, you know, covering nerd culture for the culture. And Night of the Abyss literally is just like a perfect embodiment of what we've always been clamoring about since we started DB4L, going on 3 years in February. That, you know, us kinfolk, we put a lot of real estate into this business called nerddom, and it is finally starting to pay dividends just across the board. You know, people of color, minorities, just in the nerd space, and we're super happy to help Quentin, you know, shed his light. We would love to get him on. Manifest. And, you know, help like Travis said, help this get to anime, which one would imagine. I won't speak for all manga writers, but I feel like a lot of them would love to have like their writing become animated features, like as kids of anime fans, of like turning on a TV or hopping on Crunchyroll and seeing some shit that you created available to play real time.
That would be fire.
That's gotta be crazy.
That'd be fire. That'd be fire.
But so Trav gave you all his info. I'm sure once we start doing the actual episodes, we'll put all that information in the episode description below. But lifers, we call you guys the lifers because you quite literally put the L into DB4L, and we know that we cannot grow this spirit bomb without you. So lend us your energy by way of likes, subscribes, 5 to 7 star reviews if that's possible, follows on all the social medias, and put on them notifications, smack that like button on YouTube. We on YouTube now, baby.
Let's get it.
We on YouTube now.
Let's get it.
And the easiest way to support is by clicking the all-powerful link tree of might in the episode description below. And like we always say here in the Kame house that Toriyama built, whether you watch it or you read it, we all need it. So open up your nerd eye, and we will see you next time on Dragon Ball for Life. Dodon Ray. Wow. Shout outs to super producer Mikey and Dragon Ball GT.
We love you, Mikey and Paul. And shout outs to Yali.
All caps.
And Tay.
And I see the Ray. And Lay.
Layla.
Look. Later, nerds.
We out.
Mortals, listen up. It's your god of destruction, Beerus here. Subscribe and follow the Dragon Ball for Life podcast, or else you shall be erased from existence. Hakai.